and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra and with me is Shail Bhatnagar. Well, the Indian benchmark indices ended on a mixed note in a highly volatile session yesterday, and that is after hitting fresh all-time high levels for the Sensex, the Nifty Bank, as well as the Nifty Mid-Cap Index. But the major index, the Nifty, could not sustain at those levels for sure. For the record keepers, we do have a new number as the record for the Nifty. 23,664 is the new record high for the Nifty. However, the index fell about 150 odd points from those levels and ended with losses, snapping a 4-day winning streak yesterday. It was the Nifty Bank that rallied from the front, witnessing a 1,000-point rally on its weekly options expiry and scaling past its earlier record of 51,133. But eventually, it reversed about 500 points from its intraday high, the record high level of 51,957. Now, the question is, has the Nifty run its course right now while the banks have just begun their rally? We'll find out in today's session in our discussion with our top market experts. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome on this show, especially for those in Delhi who have some relief from the heat, and we have to thank Sakshi for that. She was in Mumbai for 2 days. She's brought some rain clouds. It's cloudy out there, and therefore there is some relief from the scorching and searing temperatures that we've seen in Delhi over the last, in fact, all of North India for the last 5-7 days. So thank you, Sakshi, for that. And with this introduction, ladies and gentlemen, let's start discussing the markets. Just as there is a bit of a cloud on Delhi and North India, there's a bit of a cloud on the Nifty as well, and I'll tell you why. We'll start with the very basic chart, which is the daily Nifty chart for you. The index shut shop at about 23,520. Today is also the weekly expiry of the Nifty, and in the past 5 trading sessions, the Nifty's added 193 points to a fresh record closing high as well as an intraday high exceeding 23,600. Now this is all fine. This is the chart which is there in front of you. The index is well above its short-term moving average 5, 9 and 8 EMA. It essentially means, ladies and gentlemen, that the market is overheated. And Sakshi, I'll bring back another index which we had stopped tracking, which is the India VIX. That will come right there in front of you. Yesterday, India VIX rose about 6%, and Sakshi, that is the key to trade as far as the forthcoming days are concerned. Yes, this is the one which is right there in front of you. It's below the pink thick line, which essentially means below 200 EMA, but it's reared its head again, and this is the volatility which is back in the market. So Nifty closed with losses of 42 points, and the Bank Nifty rose about 1,000 points, 1.2, almost 2% higher, to a record close of 51,400. Remember, intraday the Nifty was up 1,400. Nifty Bank was up 1,400 points. We'll discuss the delivery statistics on major banks a little later. So Sakshi, now what is happening is that after this record rise on the Nifty, we are going to have a consolidative phase on the index, and that's also a lot of cues that are coming in from other markets. Look at how the government is now slowly but surely telling you what the focus will be on the budget, which is a rise in MSP by 5 to 11% on 14 crops. That's the rural focus. Over the last 2 or 3 days, the government has done enough and more to show that the focus is on the farm part of the economy, which is all good. We will look at rural focused stocks at our end, chiefly stocks like two-wheelers, chiefly stocks like pumps, fertilizer stocks, sugar stocks, paper stocks, so on and so forth. But the trend is very clear that we are headed towards the budget on July 22nd. All pre-budget meetings will focus on how to ameliorate stress which is seen in the rural part, and therefore you just might see the Nifty going into a sideways band. Now that is as far as the Nifty is concerned. A very, very strong support, 23,400 on the options chain of June 27th. Remember, today is the weekly expiry. We are looking on the next one. And of course, and equally strong resistance at 23,600. Now this is as far as the Nifty is concerned. Now let's look at the Bank Nifty. A blowout yesterday. The size of the bar, the green bar on the Bank Nifty, signifies the beginning of a new trend led by private sector banks. Remember, they were under-owned, they were undervalued, and they were punished beyond the scope of what good balance sheets have come in. Yesterday's statistics on HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, SBI, we will be discussing them individually whenever we discuss, but they show very strong delivery patterns. I'll tell you about HDFC Bank. Yesterday 4.51 crore shares were traded versus a 5-day average of 2.11 crores. About 4,000 crores worth of delivery from 6,500 crores traded on HDFC Bank have come in to the extent of 55% or almost 2.5 crores. Similar is the statistic on SBI and ICICI. So these banks, even if they dip today, will provide an opportunity to get back into this uptrend. None of the 4 private sector banks, including SBI, which is the largest public sector bank, are at record highs. The Nifty Bank is at a record high, Nifty is at a record high. So you can well imagine the rally that is there. Amongst the major transactions, I'm looking at PNB Housing. There is a block deal. Sakshi will give you some more details. At an 8% discount, 2 funds, General Atlantic Partner and one more, are selling 4 percentage point each. There is a QIP from an NBFC, which is also slated in the market. That's Mass Financial at an 8.5% discount. And Sakshi, I'm looking at Indus Towers and Sansera Engineering. An unbelievable amount of quality funds have got into these 2 stocks thanks to the large deals that have taken place yesterday. Indus Towers has a slew of new suitors coming in. Sansera Engineering has DSP, Axis, Pru, SBI, all of them coming into at 1,200 rupees each. SBI was in Sansera Engineering was in fact the only stock among block deals yesterday that ended in the green. So keep an eye out on this one, and the more I can talk about Indus Motors, the less Indus Towers, the less it will be. A marquee set of investors checks in after Vodafone PLC sells an 18 percentage point stake. Sakshi, yesterday was one of those rare days on Indian markets when 23,500 crores worth of block deals were absorbed, as if one takes out a piece of fruit from a table. So the liquidity in Indian markets, the appetite from institutional investors is so huge that newer and better investors are coming into stocks such as Sensera, Indus Towers, Gland Pharma, and of course the transactions that will happen today. Now please tell us what is happening on the FII fund. I believe you have some really good news, and Wall Street, which was on a holiday.
Absolutely, Shail. So the US markets were shut for the Juneteenth holiday. US futures, however, are trading flat. Remember, the Asian markets were opening mixed on a mixed note for sure. The Nikkei was trending lower. Kospi was leading with the gains. And as far as the Asian markets are concerned, mostly they are trading on a volatile note. And this is after China has kept its 1 and a 5-year loan prime rates unchanged, and therefore you do see a mixed trend there. So the Nikkei is down by about 0.6%. Kospi, however, is leading with 0.3% gains. Hang Seng and Shanghai up by 0.1% each. As far as the GIFT Nifty is indicating, it's indicating a flat start for the broader index in India with just about a 10-15 odd points of a gain. Remember, the FIIs is something that you really need to watch out for. The figure, the foreign portfolio investors recorded their highest ever single day buying of Indian shares so far in 2024. As of yesterday, the investors bought stocks worth 7,908 crore rupees worth of stocks, while the domestic institutional investors stayed buyers for the 3rd consecutive day and mopped up equities worth about 7,107 odd crore rupees as well. Now, as far as the crude and the commodity moves are concerned, So Brent crude futures for the August delivery rose by about 8 cents at $85.15 a barrel. We'll keep an eye out on this one. Slight movement on the gold front as well, but that's about it right now. As far as the stocks are concerned, now keep an eye out on a whole host of stocks. Som Distillery's license has been suspended for at least 20 days. Remember, this is the stock that we discussed even yesterday with respect to a raid that found that there was a child labor issue at the factories of Som Distilleries. So Madhya Pradesh government has suspended the license for Som Distilleries as well. Now when we talk about Sun Pharma, it's got a US FDA warning letter for Dadra unit. So there could be some kind of a negative impact on the stock today. Mass Financial, just like how Shail pointed out, it's launched a 400 crore rupees QIP. Indicative price at 286 rupees odd, which is a discount of 8.5% from the last trading price that was 312 rupees. Now this is as per the reports. Again, now reports also indicate as far as PNB Housing is concerned, the Asia Opportunities Fund and General Atlantic may sell about 4.2% stake via block deals today. Floor price at 773 rupees per share, and maximum 8% discount is likely on the last trading price as well. So we'll keep an eye out on PNB Housing too. Now as far as the telecom stocks are concerned, we'll keep an eye because Jio has outpaced Bharti Airtel in 4G and 5G user additions in April, and Vodafone Idea has continued to lose some subscribers as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye out on that one. Then apart from this, we'll also look at Brigade Enterprises. It signed agreements worth about 150 odd crore rupees to develop third tower of World Trade Center in Kochi, and the next one is IOC. It's entered into a joint venture agreement with GPS Renewables for sustainable energy solutions. And again, apart from this, we're also looking at stocks like Sapphire Foods, for instance. The board has approved the stock split of 5:1. That's something that I will look at. And India's largest public sector lender, that's SBI. The company has set, or the board has approved, raising of long-term bonds of to an amount of up to 20,000 odd crore rupees through public issue or through a private placement during FY25. So we are going to be keeping an eye out on a whole host of these stocks as well, Shail.
Sakshi, one thing I'd just like to clarify on the foreign institutional buying that you very rightly mentioned. Apart from yesterday, the number that you mentioned, of course, is 7,500 crores, the highest individual day net buying in 2024. From June 7th onwards, there has been a consistent trend in FII buying. And from June 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive sessions, we've had foreigners being net purchasers of Indian equity in the cash market. That has had two very important impacts on the Nifty. One, futures are now at a discount to cash in the F&O market, which essentially means that this rally that has happened is based on delivery based buying. Therefore, cash has gone above futures. Take it at that point of time. And secondly, what is more important is that the net index shorts that the FIIs had on the Nifty have reduced dramatically. Remember, somewhere near election day and vote counting day, as also on the exit poll day, the number was about 3.11 net index short positions that have been brought down dramatically to about 10,000 or 11,000 net shorts. And that's the reason, Sakshi, not only have the shorts been removed in the market, it's accompanied by very, very strong buying in the cash markets. And that's the reason why we have this 6,000 point rally on Nifty Bank, and of course this 2,000 point rally on the Nifty. Sakshi.
Okay, fair enough. We'll also look at some of the brokerage houses reports as well today. Interesting reports coming in as far as these reports are concerned. So first we'll start off with Tata Motors, where CLSA has an outperform rating and a target price of 1181. They believe that the company has highlighted it will invest about 18 billion pounds over the next 4 years for its electrification journey, and therefore there could be an uptick as far as the company's launch of Range Rover Electric and new JLR in FY25 is concerned. So that would pace up the stock higher in trade. Macquarie has come out with an interesting report, and this is on financials so to speak, and this is as far as upgrading of Kotak Mahindra Bank is concerned. They've raised the target price to 2025. On SBI, SBI Life, they have raised the target price to 1750. But they've downgraded SBI. They also say that they want to stay away from PSU banks now, stay away from insurance and fintechs, and this is owing to regulations and declining fundamentals or unfavorable risk reward as well. Within the financials, their top picks are from the private banking space like Axis and IndusInd Bank, and topics within the housing finance companies or NBFCs is SHFL and also LIC Housing Finance. These are the stocks that they are betting big on. Now, Goldman Sachs has come out with a report on Uno Minda. It's initiated a buy rating with a target price of 1350. It believes that Uno Minda is well positioned for growth in India's auto components industry, where select businesses are also benefiting from ongoing premiumization, and therefore they're betting big on Uno Minda. The next one is on GE Infosystems. Goldman Sachs has initiated a buy here with a target price of 2800. They believe the company is well poised to benefit from early leadership position in fast growth end markets, including auto and navigation, mapping devices and connected vehicles, also telematics and the government digitization programs that they are launching. So these are three key brokerage houses reports that I'm keeping an eye out on as well. I think we do have Mr. Devin Choksi now joining in as well, our special guest for the day, MD of DR Choksi Finserv. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out for this discussion. Of course, we have been having you week on week to really understand post-elections where exactly is the market flavor going to be, and now right ahead, or maybe just a month or less than a month away from the union budget as well. How do you see the markets poised right ahead of the budget? What is the next trajectory going to be like?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Sakshi and Shail. Well, I believe that the liquidity factor is continued to, I think, play a major role in the market. Uh, you had on 4th June, whatever the fall which market experienced, immediately, I think thereafter, a significant amount of buying took place in the cash market, which is up to the tune of around 21,000 crores. Now, when you look at, I think, the inflow of money which is getting into the mutual fund industry, which is getting into the insurance companies, I feel that I think this amount of money is not likely to stop. And on the contrary, I think it is likely to grow because with every successive increase in the GDP, uh, 30% of that amount, I think, goes towards the saving and investment. Out of that 30%, about 40% of that amount, I think, goes towards the financial assets, including the equity. So from that perspective, I think the liquidity factor is going to keep the market absolutely busy going forward. What is going to probably, I think, be more interesting to watch out for would be some of the big IPOs like Hyundai, which is planning to come up in the market, and so would be some other names. So from that perspective, I think we are likely to see the addition of new investors into the market, and that's a good sign, which is again, I think, confirming that the market momentum will continue. On the top of it, I think the earnings of the corporates, the current GDP growth and the earnings of the corporates, they both suggest that they are likely to move in tandem with each other. Probably, I think you are likely to see 18 to 20% kind of earning growth in some of the even the frontline stocks, top line stocks, and mid-tier and the smaller companies could possibly grow in the range of around 25 to 30% also in some cases. So to a greater extent, I think all equations are working favorably. Only thing which is not so comfortable and favorable probably at this point of time is the valuation. Market is running far ahead of its time, I think, as far as giving the valuations is concerned. And that could be a real shocker. If at all, I think some rhythm has to break at some point of time, then I think these high valuations will probably affect most of the genuine investors who are not buying fundamentals, who are buying the momentum at this point of time.
Right. Namaste Devan Bhai, and a very warm welcome to you on Market Today as always. I just wanted to seek your views on the forthcoming budget. It's fairly clear that farm, agriculture, rural stress, and how should I say, steps will be taken to ameliorate the kind of message that the national elections have sent to the BJP. With this background in mind, what are the one or two sectors, a couple of stocks that you are advising clients to get into or maybe add to existing positions given the government's now pivot towards rural spending?
So the big two things I think which we have kept in place. One is the amount of money which is getting spent on infrastructure, which is resulting into higher amount of manufacturing activity. So I think concentration remains with the manufacturing sector, particularly the capital goods segment and the ancillaries to the capital goods segment. I think where probably we see the larger amount of opportunities. There are many companies which are basically supporting the entire capital expansion program in the economy. And that's where I think you are likely to see the growth continuing in a systematic manner, be it for the railways, be it for the defense, be it for the automobiles, be it for any other area of infrastructure. I think where probably we are going to be seeing the larger amount of spending. We believe that I think this is one area which will continue to remain strong. So our investment focus would remain in these areas where probably we see the companies which are there supporting the entire growth program. The automobile particularly, I think we like most more because I think comparatively they have not performed well. In many cases, I think leave inside I think couple of companies, but otherwise I think the ancillaries in particular they remain I think one of the favorite posts to add into the portfolio. In next 6 months to 12 months, I think we are likely to see higher amount of growth in the auto ancillary space as we see. On the other side, I think because the government is wanting to increase the consumption, and in turn, I think they are silently having an eye on collecting the taxes, GST, etc. In my viewpoint, I think the few measures like implementation of ONDC and measures like implementation of CBDC, they are likely to take place in this budget or in around this budget. Given the possibility of these measures holding significant amount of objective, one from the point of view of controlling the inflation, and second, from the point of view of, I think, allowing the RBI institution to monitor the monetary policy well so that they can bring down the rate of interest, eventually controlling the inflation. I believe that this particular move is likely to gain momentum in the budget. So we keep an eye around this. Maybe I think at this point of time, the larger focus would be on the investment activity, banking and financial activity, where we see they are going to be the direct beneficiaries, apart from I think the companies which are there in the FMCG segment. So we like this particular space. We also like housing and housing finance in particular. The low cost housing is going to get the momentum, and at the same time, already announced that I think they are talking about another 1 crore plus houses to be allocated. So from for the low cost housing purpose, from that particular purpose as well, we find that housing finance companies could be one more area where one can possibly see the amount of money getting deployed by the investors.
Wanted to understand, since you did mention auto ancillaries, you were one of the first conviction voices that talked about Uno Minda on our channel, and that's a long time ago. And I think the price would have been around 500 odd or levels or so when you did talk about Uno Minda. Today it stands at over 1055, and this is just in a matter of about 6 to 7 odd months that we have seen, or maybe less than that as well. Today, Goldman Sachs has initiated their buy rating on Uno Minda with a 1350 kind of a target price, and they believe that the company is well positioned for the growth that we are seeing in the India auto component space. Within the auto components, I want to understand, is Uno Minda continuing to be the best placed story that one can track? Are there others also that one can add? We've also seen the bearing makers really rally off late over the last 2 or 3 odd months as well. Have you added to the list of these names that we can track now?
So yeah, I think in particular in Minda, the fabric is I think quite well designed. I would say that way. On one side, you have got the ICE engine segment, I think, where they cater to. On the other side, I think they are now adding the portfolio in the EV segment. With a systematic tie-up that they have carried out. Plus, I think the kind of product line that they are insulated either with an ICE or whether it is EV. I think the lighting system will continue to grow. The seating will continue to grow. The wheels will continue to grow. Uh, the wiring harness, etc., will continue to grow. So, from a perspective of looking at the business, I think they are quite insulated from, I think, the change in the technology platform because the product line that they naturally go to across, I think, the segment, be it IC, be it flex engines, or be it electric vehicle or even hydrogen engines. Wherever the vehicle is flying, I think they are there. This company we like more also because of the fact that I think they systematically increase the kit value in their customers' portfolio. So to a greater extent, I think every customer would like to deal with few vendors, and in such situation, I think this company is positioned very well. So we continue to keep this particular stock in our investment portfolio and want to add, I think, whenever the market gives opportunity at lower levels. Having added at lower levels, I think definitely I think we want to add more when I think market gives opportunity. Similarly, in the two-wheeler space, particularly, I think the other company, Minda Corporation, it also, I think, is positioned very well. Again, I think with the electric vehicle segment portfolio, this company is favorably placed and positioned. So there we like it. There are other companies too in the auto NC space, but I think these particular companies are definitely remaining relatively more favorable to us at this point of time.
Right. Devin Bhai Sakshi, over the last 3 decades, has picked up countless multi-baggers, and within the space of auto ancillaries, the one great call that came in from the house of KR Choksi was Alicon cast alloys. This was about 5-7 years ago, and people who bought it at 30-40 rupees have now seen it grow all the way up to 4 digits. So it's a habit with Devin Bhai to pick up great stocks and pick them up very, very early. Devin Bhai, I wanted to take your view on Indus Towers. The kind of marquee investors that have checked in at this point of time not only speaks about the strength of Indus Towers balance sheet, but also the movement that is expected broadly in the telecom sector. What is the house view on Indus Towers?
Well, on one side, I think they are the main player in the ecosystem, I think, which provides the tower infrastructure for the mobility companies, for the mobile companies particularly. So that part, I think, is not questioned. The more important aspect is that Vodafone PLC taking out money out of this company would mean there are two things. One, on the other side, the investors will bring that money into the company. So obviously, the cap table changes as far as I think the Indus Tower is concerned, and that is going to attract additional amount of money because of the weight change also. I think with MSCI and FTSE. So that is one area where I think one could possibly argue that I think additional amount of fund will get into this company. The other aspect is that Vodafone PLC taking out 9,000 plus crores rupees out of this company. Either they end up paying their debt, the global debt that they are having, or else I think the as the count goes, the promoters are infusing money to revive the Vodafone idea. So that is where probably I think the money amount of money along with the Birla Group, the Vodafone PLC will put into the Vodafone idea. So that will also help in getting the what we call the financial trouble out of the Vodafone idea eventually. If at all it happens, it will take some time, of course, but that is where I think one is seeing the journey. In my viewpoint, I think this transaction has both the legs covered, one for the tower, Indus Tower, another for Vodafone Idea. So both these are important aspect as far as I think the outlook is concerned. Of course, Vodafone Idea, I believe that I think will require significantly large amount of money for investment, given the kind of lag that they have in implementing the 5G at this point of time.
Right. The pre-open is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. A 50-point uptick on the Nifty, which is very, very welcome. 23,585. I'm just concerned with banks today. HDFC Bank is opening flat 1658. ICICI Bank has a very nice uptick, 13 points higher at 1158. How about SBI? Flat at 853. And let's look at Kotak and Axis. Axis is 1230, up 3.35 rupees, and Kotak is 23 rupees higher, 1770. So the focus today would be ICICI and Kotak. Let's see how they shape up during trade. Within the NSE 500, let's look at top gainers. Okay, they're very interesting names. Tata Steel 1.2% higher, 182.30. Okay, this is not the right list. Okay, let's look at the FNO space and point out some obvious winners for you. Okay, the market is likely to see some action in SBI Life Insurance. I believe there is a brokerage upgrade on that one. 1.8% higher, 1475. Private sector banks, City Union Bank in demand, 1.9% higher, 160. Remember yesterday Federal Bank had hit a record high, and it's the private banking space that's likely to do pretty well. In terms of most actives, you have Indian hotels trying to open 4% lower, 591. There is a strong move coming in on Dalmia Bharat. Prices are very, very icky at the moment. The Nifty, although, is inching towards 23,600. Let me just see which are the major winners on the Nifty today. So it's Kotak, ICICI and HDFC Bank. You have Infosys contributing 6 rupees 40, 1579. Let's look at what Reliance is doing. Reliance is weak, 16 rupees lower, 2901. Remember, so two index heavyweights, which is HDFC Bank and ICICI, HDFC Bank and Infosys are in the green, and the other index heavyweight, Reliance, is in the red. Within the private banking space, all four are in the green: Kotak, ICICI, HDFC, and of course Axis. SBI is also sort of moving in the green. Let's look at some other winners. Now prices are sort of settling towards sensible prices. Okay, Map My India, 7% higher, 2150. Let's look at the wind power generation business. Yesterday's cabinet meeting has allowed the setting up of offshore wind farms around the Sea of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, and provide viability gap funding to that very expensive project. Therefore, Suzlon 5% higher, limit up 51.3. Inox Wind 4% higher, 147. And of course, Sapphire Foods 4% higher. This is the stock split in the works, 1612, 5:1 that has been announced. In terms of losers, PNB Housing 3% lower, 813. Remember, there's a block deal of about 8 percentage point equity stake to be sold by two funds, General Electric and one more in PIB Housing. Canfin is also slipping, 1.8% lower, 850. Sakshi, what are you watching? The Nifty is now 77 points higher, 23,593.
Right, Shail. Remember, there were some brokerage houses reports and news, stocks in news also. So some of those are reacting positively. Brigade Enterprises 6% higher on the back of that agreement and 150 odd crore rupees order for constructing that tower. And Office, recently listed company, Office Solutions, Office Space Solutions, that's up by 8.5% today. And that's after the company has reported strong earnings. EBITDA up 35%, revenue up 44% on a year-on-year basis. Then there is Sapphire Foods. After that, you've already mentioned that, up I think 4% higher in trade. Gokaldas Exports is up by about 2.5% in trade too. Tanfac is another company that's moving up about 8%. We hardly discuss this stock. There's a framework agreement with a Japanese specialty chemicals firm, and therefore we are looking at a very strong move on Tanfac as well. Some of these companies are actually rising very, very sharply in trade. KEI Industries, there are partially affected operations in Rakholi and Chinchpara plant, and therefore there is some dip on the stock after this report as well. But let's look at brokerage houses indication. So Tata Motors, remember there's an outperform rating from CLSA, how that one is reacting. There was a target price of 1181 on this one. Tata Motors is opening about half odd percent higher in trade. Let's also look at the financials. Kotak Mahindra Bank and SBI Life both had got an upgrade from Macquarie, whereas SBI got a downgrade. So let's see how those are reacting as well. And on the PSUs as well, Motilal Oswal has come out with preferred ideas that SBI, Coal India, GAIL, HPCL and Bank of Baroda continue to remain their preferred ideas from the PSU space as well. Uno Minda, we just discussed with Devin sir as well. Let's look at how that one is reacting after Goldman has initiated a buy rating on that one. Stocks are coming up on your screens as well, and how they are reacting. Let's continue to look at that too. 11.7% higher, very, very strong move. So the target has been achieved, I believe. No, it's 1350. So there is further upside that can be seen. 11.7% on Uno Minda as well. Let's get Devin sir into the conversation to really understand. Devin sir, on Uno Minda first, what next on the company? Can one still initiate buying if somebody has missed this stock over the last 6 months or the kind of rally we have seen? And the second question will be on the overall banking scenario. Reports suggesting it's turn of the private banks to now perform versus the PSU banks. How should one be positioned now? These two companies, these two stocks.
So I guess I think in Minda's case, probably the fundamentals are definitely shaping up well. So there is no second thought on this particular company. The business conditions remain absolutely buoyant and convincing. So again, I think that's a favorable tick as far as I think the checklist is concerned. What will be probably a situation for most investors that the valuation at current level, given the current earnings of the company, may be appearing reasonably expensive at this point of time. So certainly for buying a fresh, I would rather think that I think there is an opportunity if at all market gives one, that is going to be the best time. Otherwise, I think gradually adding to the portfolio and probably wait for the major fall to add significant quantum at the later date. As far as I think the bank's outlook is concerned, we believe that the story is going to be stronger for those banks which are got a large AUM back to the likes of SBI, likes of HDFC, uh, soon to be going to be the larger player would be GeoFin, Bajaj Finance. Those kind of companies are definitely suggesting that they are having the best of the time going forward because of the size of the business is doubling in 4.5 years time. In my viewpoint, I think these companies they look interestingly positioned. They are not far, they are not expensive at the same time compared to the other markets. I believe that I think it will be a good opportunity to buy those companies which are fundamentally strong, like the ones which we are talking about. They could possibly be the sure winner in the portfolio going forward.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Devin Bhai. What a pleasure to have you on Market Today.
Thank
And
you.
as always, we'll again remember you for Unum India. We have Mr.
Thank you.
Rajesh Palvia, who's now joined us on the technical side of the panel. Mr. Palvia is with us, head for derivatives and technical research at Axis Securities Limited. Namaste, Rajesh ji. A very warm welcome. I wish you would talk about Axis Bank, but you won't. But let's talk about ICICI and HDFC Bank. What are the charts telling you?
Good morning, Shailji. Good morning, Sakshi. So ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, both banks are looking promising. If I need to select one from these two banks, I would go with HDFC Bank. The kind of short covering which we have witnessed in the previous day, and the stock has shown a very decent rally in last trading session, and managed to surpass again its supply zone of 1630 congestion zone. Looking at the derivative data setup, if we go with the option chain data also, so most of the all writers forced to cover their position for strike 1610, 1630. All these strikes have witnessed short covering. So I think the way stock has formed a base and managed to give breakout, we believe that HDFC Bank has furthermore potential to move higher in the near term basis also. Possible target we can see towards 1690 to 1700. This is for trading perspective. For trading point of view, keep your stop loss now at around 1630 to hold your long position. Even on the ICICI Bank stock is now penetrating to its multiple supply zone, which is placed at around 1150, 1155 zone. If stocks manages to cross 1155 in today's session, then this stock can also exhibit good amount of rally and possible upside we can see towards 1190 to 1200 kind of zone. So here also we have buy recommendation with stop loss of 1125.
Okay. Let's welcome Mitesh Panchal on the show with us. Remember, Mitesh was also our main technical guest on Wednesday, the weekly expiry of the Bank Nifty. He mentioned a 4-digit uptick on Bank Nifty being a distinct possibility. That worked out very well. 1500 points was the maximum that the Bank Nifty stretched itself and is now opening 300 points higher, 51,712. Mitesh bhai, thank you so much for that lovely prophecy, and of course being cautious on the Nifty as well. What now? What about Bank Nifty?
Good morning, Sanjay. Good morning, Sakshi. Good morning to the panelists and all our guests, viewers. Thank you very much, Sanjay, for mentioning the same. Now, the thing is that if you afraid more, you will not be able to participate. That is the story of Bank Nifty. So everybody will wait either for participation or to go short, but that is not the way how one should approach Bank Nifty. Now, the way why we technicals are placing, we are seeing a strong possibilities of Bank Nifty testing around 54,000 to 55,000. And our hypothesis is based on the fact that yet the PSU Bank have yet not participated. So as mentioned during the last show, we are expecting a marathon run in PNB, SBI, Bank of Baroda, and Canara Bank going forward. So the participation of PSU Bank will help Bank Nifty to lift itself from the current level to the tune of 54 to 55,000. And apart from that, the two big boys which we have mentioned yesterday, that is HDFC Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank, along with Axis and IndusInd, will now play a significant role going forward. So I think it's a very strong fresh breakout for the private banks. At the same time, it's a very strong accumulation zone for the PSU bank. So these two technical setups are rare, and I think coming at a level where Bank Nifty is trading at 51,700 is again very rare. So I am of the view that yes, my all eyes are on the PSU basket. We will see a very strong run up in PSU basket, especially SBI, Bank of Baroda, PNB, and Canara Bank. And the recent breakout in the private bank will also help Bank Nifty to test higher levels. So I am a buyer for Bank Nifty at lower levels and at current levels. Now, one need to be very clear, Shailji. There are periods where your have you position yourself in terms of positioning and financing your trade makes a lot of difference. So this is the time when if you want to go with, so for an example, 10 lot long in the Bank Nifty, you should start with 2 lots. So positioning your sizing at this point of time in trade will help you to make money in the Bank Nifty. So don't go whole hog in one shot. You need to buy in a staggered way. There are corrections. There are deep corrections. Like yesterday, we have seen a strong corrections in the towards the end of the day. So sharp corrections are a part of the game for Bank Nifty, but eventually it will test 54,000, 55,000 going forward.
Okay. We have the pre-opening. We have the opening rates now in front of
They
us.
are open.
Yeah.
Flat trade on the Nifty, 23 points higher, 23,540. The Nifty Bank 250 points higher at 51,665. Let's just look at the private banks. Kotak up front, upgrade from Macquarie 1.6% higher, 1775. ICICI Bank 4 higher at 1149. HDFC Bank 10 rupees higher, 1667. How about SBI? Okay, flat at 852. Let's look at the other top gainers on the Nifty, which is Shriram Finance, 2795. You have a strong move coming in on Bharti Airtel, about a percent higher, 1403. I just want to see what Indus Towers is doing. Let's go to the FNO space. Indus Towers is right there in front of you in terms of the price action. Let's look at the top gainers within NSE 500 and look at how prices are structured. Remember, Uno Minda, Sakshi and Devin Bhai had a very nice conversation on this one. The top gainer on NSE 500, a very strong upgrade coming in from Goldman Sachs, fresh record high 1124, 7% higher, huge volumes as well. Suzlon, this is the wind energy pack, circuit up 5%. Inox Wind 1.2% higher, 141.35. Again upgrades. Brigade Enterprises 3.8% higher, 1366. Stock split Sapphire 5:1, 1634, 5% higher. What else is moving? Let's look at the entire Nifty private banking space. You'll see a lot of action coming into the smaller banks. Let's look at Federal, let's look at City Union Bank, let's look at Karnataka Bank. All of them are buzzing with gains. The Bank Nifty now 371 points higher at 51,772. What else is sticking in the green? Let's look at all-time highs. Uno, HSCL and Carborundum Universal. These are the ones that are there on the Nifty 500. Coming to you, Rajesh ji, one very quick view on Bank Nifty and anything that catches your fancy in the broader markets.
So Bank Nifty, yes, looking promising only. 51,500 is the stop loss at this moment for holding the long position in Bank Nifty. Because if you look at the constituents of the Bank Nifty, most of the private banks are taking the leadership. So at this moment we are holding long position on Bank Nifty future, 51,500 stop loss. Upside target we can see towards 51,800 to 51,900, where we can book some profit for intraday perspective. And the stock Kotak Bank is looking promising. This is fresh breakout on the Kotak Bank. Stock managed to give breakout of its previous swing high. Looking at the opening tick on Kotak Bank, we expect that if it's hold above 1760, then possible really can extend towards 1800 to 1810 also for Kotak Bank.
Okay, got that. Let's again look at some of the other stocks. PNB Housing Finance, 1.3 crore shares have exchanged hands on this one. The stock is hovering 4% lower, and the deal seems to be underway at this point in time on PNB Housing. And the deal is worth about 176 odd crore rupees already. And we'll continue to look at more details as they come in as to whether there are more blocks that are happening on PNB Housing Finance as well. So we'll look at that. Apart from this, a whole host of other stocks. Brigade Enterprises is opening about 6% higher on that order of 150 odd crore rupees. Sapphire Foods on that stock split news is reacting positively. So we can see about a 3.5% move on this one again. 1369 for Brigade Enterprises. Let's look at Sapphire Foods and also Mass Financials, which is again in news, which we have reiterated for our viewers. Yes, Sapphire Foods is up by almost 6 odd percent at 1650 odd levels with the kind of stock split news that's come in. Mass Financials is opening about 3% higher in trade as well. But on the Nifty, it's Kotak, SBI Life, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel, M&M, Titan. These are the top movers at this point in time. On the downside, you have Sun Pharma on that US FDA observation, Power Grid, HDFC Life. You have Dr. Reddy's, Coal India, NTPC that are seeing a weaker in trade right now. But the broader markets are showing in sharp upticks. CE Infosystems got an upgrade and in fact an initiating buy by Goldman Sachs, and therefore you see CE Infosystems about 9% higher. Rate gain is up by about 6.7%. Windsor Machines, which we have been seeing buzzing over the last week, is again up 6.5%. Uno Minda is 6% higher. You also have Sapphire Foods, Office Space Solutions on positive results. You can see a 5.5% up move that can be seen. Apart from this, from the broader markets, I can also spot Shakti Pumps, that's up by 5 odd percent. Again, it's the fertilizer theme that we will be discussing. Nova Agritech, some of those counters that are also moving up in trade. Mitesh ji, anything that catches your fancy right after the opening?
Two stocks. First is the Titan. I think at 3,475 stock is up for a very strong upside for the day. So with a stop of 3,450, one can go long in Titan for the potential target of 3,500 and 3,525 for the day. Second stock which is looking promising is GNFC. At 708, above 705, it has given a breakout. So at 708, it's a buy with a stop of 700 for the intraday potential target of 720 and 725.
Okay, got that. So Titan and GNFC, these are the two counters that we will look at. Yes, Shail.
There is, as far as the advanced decline ratio is concerned, about 11 indices that are in the red, led by the Nifty Pharma and the Nifty Energy Index. There is the Nifty Bank, which is the top gainer, still about 0.5% higher. Nifty Realty is buzzing into gains, and it's the Nifty PSU banking index which is also coming in the green. I think the focus will be on smaller private sector banks, City Union, Bandhan, Federal, IDFC First, and of course to some extent even Indus Bank. I can't say it's a smaller private sector bank, it's amongst the top 5, but all of them are showing very smart gains. Coming to you, Rajesh bhai, anything that you might want to suggest on City Union Bank, Federal Bank, or maybe Karnataka Bank, all of them buzzing with gains?
Yeah, so these small private banks are yes showing good uptick since last couple of days. We are seeing most of these stocks are showing buying interest, and now if we analyze the City Union Bank, now stock is approaching towards its May 2024 swing high. So again, 164, 165 is the immediate supply zone. If it crosses those level, then rally can extend, and then possible target we can see towards 175 also. So at this moment, those who have already bought at lower level can book some partial profit around 164, because this is again very challenging level for the stock to cross in this up move. But the fresh breakout which we are seeing on the Bandhan Bank, looking at the near term short term structure, stock is now managed to cross the 200 mark. So if it's hold about 200, then possible rally can extend towards 210 to 212 also for Bandhan Bank. So here one can hold the position with stop loss of 197. And the third stock that we like is Federal Bank. Again, if we analyze the weekly structure, stock is moving in upsloping channel. That clearly shows that there is a sustained uptrend on the stock. And looking at the long-term chart, stock is in uptrend. Uh, it's a low beta stock, so slow steady stock is moving only upward side. So if you want to have some positional trade, then you can buy an equivalent Federal Bank with stop loss of 170 on the higher side. On a positional perspective, we are projecting target towards 195.
Fair point. Sakshi, I think Bandhan Bank obviously needs to be watched. We have a lot of short covering happening in the futures market, which is visible on the drop in open interest, which is also visible on IDFC First Bank. So after yesterday's run up in the frontline private sector banks, today is the turn of smaller private sector banks, the old world private sector banks, which are doing phenomenally well, not only in the cash but also in the futures market. What are you watching?
Well, I'm also looking at the telecom space stocks. So Bharti Airtel is up by about 0.2%. I wanted to also take Mitish's view on the entire space. So Vodafone, Indus Towers, Bharti Airtel, Reliance Industries with a way of proxy play on Reliance Jio. How are you looking at this space? There are subscriber addition news that's coming in. Jio has obviously gained the most, and it's overtaken Bharti Airtel in that addition that has happened in April. But the upcoming auctions that will happen on June 25, July 25, how will you really look at the entire space, and which are the counters that are looking positive?
which is looking positive is Bharti Airtel. If you look at the chart pattern, about 1200 rupees, the stock is forming heart of hard bottom formation, and now the stock is up for 1500 to 1600 range. So definitely at the current level, we would like to watch the Bharti Airtel structure. And if you look at technical setup, above 1420, 1420, a fresh breakout will occur, and that will take the stock all the way up to 1500 to 1550. So, Sakshi, let's wait and watch for 1420. On 15 minutes charts, if we get a close above 1420, then definitely it's a buy with a stop of 1380 for the first target of 1500, second target of 1550. So 1420 on 15 minutes chart is what we are looking at.
Okay, got that. So we will continue to keep an eye out on this. You know, the realty space is again inched higher to the top gaining sectoral index right now. When we look at the constituents, it's Brigade, of course, that's leading the move. Sobha, Prestige, Phoenix Mills, Suntech Realty, they're all up and about in trade. The other space that's again buzzing is the metals pack as well, with Hindalco now moving as far as the Nifty movers are concerned. You also have a comeback of Hindustan Zinc, a 4% up move. Steel Authority is 1.5% higher. NMDC is gaining ground, about a percent up move that can be seen on this too. Rajesh ji, anything that clicks your attention within the metals pack?
And that is Vedanta. After a brief consolidation, again, stock is showing buying interest. So I think that stock can be looked at. Overall structure is bullish. Stock managed to give breakout of its falling trend line on a daily chart. So looking at the structure, we believe that on a positional perspective, Vedanta is a good stock to buy and accumulate. Upside target, we believe that towards 485 to 490. Keep your stop loss at around 435. The second stock from the metal pack that we like at this juncture, that is Hindalco. Again, in the Hindalco also, the same kind of behavior is taking place. Stock corrected in last couple of weeks, but again, stock is holding the ground above 50-day moving average. From its important support area of stock is taking support and buying action from its important support area of 660 zone. So I think 660 should be kept as a stop loss to buy Hindalco also. I think in this pullback, stock may attempt to give breakout above 685, and that breakouts happen, then possible rally can extend to 700 plus kind of zone also. So Vedanta and Hindalco both are looking attractive at this moment.
Sakshi, I think we'll mark one very, very important stock, which is AB Capital. This is also showing very, very strong signs of resurgence at 244.90. This is now almost at its all-time high. Remember, from the day of its listing, which is somewhere in September of 2017, the stock has never reclaimed that level. So it's a 3 plus 4, 7-year breakout on Aditya Birla Capital. Coming to you, Mitesh ji, what are the charts of Aditya Birla Capital telling you? At the moment, the volume is somewhere like 31 lakh shares in cash.
You have picked up the right stock for at least for the first 15 minutes. I think the strongest build-up with what we have witnessed in the first 15 minutes is the two stocks. First is ABC Capital, and second, if you look at even the Navin Fluorine, it is gaining a strong ground. So as far as ABC Capital is concerned, yes, about 242, it has given a strong breakout on 15 minutes chart, which will be over by say for in next 30 seconds or so. At 9:30, we are getting the confirmation since the stock has sustained above 242. Here we are. As 9:30, first 15-minute candle is over. It is sustaining about 242. So yes, for the day, you can opt for 250 to 252 kind of a target. So yes, with a stop of 240, you can go long for the day with a potential target of 248 and 250.
Okay. Let's also, this one is for you, Rajesh ji. Inox Green at 149.50. Why don't you just take a look at it? I'll, in the meantime, check the circuit limit, what is on Inox Green, and then come back to you. Remember, the government has yesterday approved viable gap funding for wind turbine plants to be set up offshore. those are very, very expensive businesses, and the government wants that part of the business to also flourish. Inox Green for you, 2.65% higher. Rajesh ji.
So Shalji, stock structure is bullish, and the way stock is on a weekly chart, it's a flag kind of formation. Stock is forming over there. Stock is now approaching towards its multiple supply zone. I think if it stocks manages to cross over 155, then there would be a breakout play, and then possible target we can see towards 170 also. So at this moment, buy and accumulate should be your strategy to buy this Inox Green. Your stop loss should be kept as a 142 to buy Inox Green.
Okay, got that. Let's also focus on a few more stocks that are garnering the attention. CE Infosystems, let me take Mitesh ji, your next target for this one after this sharp rally has unveiled itself in trade today. How are you really looking at the stock? And maybe Uno Minda also you can add to this list since it's all related to the auto space.
Yeah, as you have rightly said, it's a very sharp up move early in the morning, and if you look at the volume side of it, it is also gaining. So I think the stock is here to stay for a bit of a longer period of time. So as far as Minda is concerned, above 1080, it's a clear-cut breakout. So the stock will now enter into a new trading range between 1300 to 1400, especially. And as far as CE Infosystem is concerned, yes, it is also up by close to 10%. So about 2150, there is a breakout, which will take the stock now to a new level of 2300 to 2400. But again, when you look at the sharp move, Sakshi, the only request to all our viewers is that maintain a very strict stop loss, and please adhere to the discipline of trailing stop losses. You are definitely making, in such a volatile market, a very strong gain in few seconds, few minutes or few hours, but please also remember that those gains will disappear very quickly. So make sure that you adhere to the strict discipline, strict policy, stop loss policy, and be a disciplined trader, because in this kind of a market, it's only the discipline which will help you to generate alpha. So ensure that you follow the strict stop loss as well as the trailing stop loss strategy.
Okay, got that. Rajesh ji, within the fertilizers and the chemicals pack, where exactly are you keeping your focus? Mitesh pointed out Naveen Fluorine. Anything else that looks positive to you? Of course, with the upcoming GST meet, there is entire hope that the space will be in focus again. And how are you looking at the best plays right now within this pack?
I think from fertilizer space, most of the stocks have done well, and we have seen a very strong buying action in last couple of trading session. The way stocks have moved up, so I think our preferred choice from that space would be Fact. Fact is looking very promising, very strong breakout on the chart. We expect that this rally can continue further, and possible target for Fact we can see towards 980 to 1000 kind of level. So here we are recommending here to buy this stock with stop loss of 890. Another stock from fertilizer space that we like is GNFC. That stock is also looking promising. The way stock is holding the ground above 700, there is a possible target in the near term towards 740 to 750. Keep your stop loss at around 685. And even from the chemical space, I think one can look at Deepak Nitrite also. That stock is also looking very promising. The way stock is moving up, we believe that this rally can extend, and possible upside target towards its previous swing high. We can project that is around 2550 would be the next target for the stock in the continuation of this up move. And if it manages to surpass about 2550, then rally can extend to 2700 also. So Deepak Nitrite is also buy with stop loss of 2485.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some option shopping. I'll request the PCR to fire the 1780 call for Kotak Bank, which is expiring on June 27th. And Rajesh ji, I'll request your indulgence. It's at 23 rupees, which is already a bit higher, but given the way Kotak is moving and the fact that nothing much has happened on the stock for a very, very long time, any view that you would have on this one, sir?
Definitely. So in the beginning of show itself, I mentioned about Kotak Bank, and we are holding bullish view on this stock. We expect this is really can extend because this is a fresh breakout is taking place in the Kotak, and again, stock is recovering and filling the bearish gap which was there in the stock, and the stock is now comfortably trading about 200-day moving average. So looking at the near term, short term structure, we believe that this rally can extend to 1810 to 1820 kind of level. 1755 should be your stop loss. Yes, one can go with the call option of 1780 to play this up move. Here we can project a target towards 38 to 40 rupees for this call option. Your stop loss should be at around 16 rupees to buy 1780 call option.
Okay, let's get the 1780 call option on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is an intraday trade. We picked it up at about 22 rupees. It's moved already higher at 26. It cannot be carried forward for two reasons. One, we are at the fag end of the June expiry. Time value will deteriorate very fast, and in any case, options are intraday. It's overheated at the moment. If you get a dip towards say 22, 23 during the morning trade, please then look at to it. And of course, this is again an intraday trade only. Please also consult an independent financial advisor when you look into such moves. I think, Sakshi, what's also buzzing is and is back with a bang is the fertilizer space. Let me just share some data on you, and we'll start with fact. This is 3% higher, and again, needless to say, this is a record high. We also have a move coming into GNFC, 1.3% higher, National Fertilizers 1.2% higher, and of course you have a strong move on Coromandel as well as Chambal. Remember, the government has said that MSPs have gone up by 5 to 11% in yesterday's cabinet meeting, and the government will provide support on all costs that have been on the farmer side. Mitesh ji, one very good pick from the fertilizer space that you like.
RCF, undoubtedly. I think yesterday we have given the stock as a recommendation, and it shoot up by close to 8% or so. Today also the stock is maintaining the momentum. So the stock yesterday, as I said, is in the race to cross 200 to 220 odd levels. So definitely even at 186, one can go long with a stop of 160 for a potential target of 200 and 220.
Okay, got that. So that's RCF for you, already inching higher as and when Mitesh started to talk about it, about 0.7% of an up move coming in. We'll continue to keep an eye out on this one again. All right, let's again look at the big buzzers. They're all from the auto ancillary space that are coming in today, apart from Uno Minda, that is of course moving up, and we discussed even CE Infosystems. Now even Kalyani Forge is up by about 8.7%. Endurance Technologies is up by 5%. Lumax is up by 4.8%. Sansera Engineering, we've been discussing, 3.7% higher. So the entire forging space is up and about. You also have stocks like Sundaram Fasteners that are buzzing. Exide is also buzzing in trade again, and Amara Raja also up by about 1.5% odd. Mitesh ji, anything that looks attractive to you within the auto ancillary space right now?
What is looking exciting to us is high beta stock. Is now a high beta stock. Earlier it was a boring stock, and that is Exide. If you look at the chart pattern of an Exide, above 450, stock has formed heart of our bottom formation, and it is continuously moving up. Even the structure of the quarterly charts and monthly charts are also very promising. So we are of the view that the stock is here to stay for a longer period of time. 650 is what we are looking at on the 3-month basis. So at 569 for a short period of time, one can go long with a stop of 550 for the first potential target of 580 and 600 in next 15 to 20 trading sessions.
Okay, got that. So Exide within the auto ancillary space is looking positive. We haven't discussed defense even once in the show today. But there is continuous move, of course 2.5% move in comparison to double digit moves looks a little less, but at the same time they've not lost ground. Paras Defense, Mazagon, Zentech, Garden Reach Shipbuilders, Cochin Shipyard, Astra Microwave, they're all up 1.5 to 2.5% up and about in trade today. Your own sense with the kind of move that we are seeing across the board, Rajesh ji, within the defense space, are you still looking at buying opportunities here?
So very sharp rally we have already witnessed in most of the defense stocks. So it's very difficult to chase these kind
Yeah.
of rally, at least for trading perspective. Yes, if you are investor, then you can keep buying on a staggered manner. But there is no as such dip we are getting in this all these stocks. So that's the major concern area for to be long in this defense space. But yes, going forward on the long term perspective, we are bullish for this space, and I think if at all you get any opportunity in volatility to buy these stocks in decline, yes, definitely one should try to buy and accumulate all these stocks because the way long term structure is shaped up for most of these stocks, that clearly giving us confidence that this rally may continue further in coming months also. So yes, our preferred choice would be from this space would be Mazgaon Dog. That stock is looking very promising. The way stock has moved up, I think if you get any opportunity towards 3,950 kind of zone, that's the again level where you can buy and accumulate this stock. Till stock is holding above 3,800, our view is likely to remain on the bullish side and possible rally can extend to 4,400 to 4,500 also for this stock. Again, the another stock that we like is Bharat Dynamics. That stock is also looking promising. Again, here there is still room to give breakout of its previous swing high. Still, stock is in consolidation since last couple of trading sessions. So Bharat Dynamics can be a buy with stop loss of 1540. Upside target, immediate target is 1630. If stocks crosses 1630, the next rally can extend to 1800 also. So these two stocks one can look to buy in the from the defense space.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, another space that is flourishing with gains is a stock that we've discussed often, Motherson Sumi, Samvardhana Motherson. This is for you, Mitesh Bhai, record high again, 186, and I see a lot of block deals happening, 2% higher. What are the charts in futures telling you as far as Motherson Sumi is concerned?
Yeah, of late the stock has performed well, and I think now it's a trader's favorite counter above 182 precisely on the weekly chart. Stock has given a fresh breakout, so now is eyeing at 210 to 220 odd levels. Very shortly you will get that on the chart. So probably with 180 as a stop, you can start buying the counter and trailing the stop loss. If the stock managed to close 200 above 200, then probably 220 to 230 is here to stay. So yes, this is a trader friendly stock. Of late it has come on the radar, and every single day if you look at last 5 to 7 trading sessions, the volume is also building up very nicely along with the open interest. So yes, definitely Motherson is definitely a buy at the current level.
Okay. Another point is Bandhan Bank. Remember, we discussed this a little while ago. This is the highest that we've seen since 26th of February, 204, 205. The only issue is that at the moment it's going to hit into its 200-day moving average at about 206 rupees. So you need to be cautious. But moving very rapidly is City Union Bank. These are stocks that we barely discuss. Yes, what a beautiful chart you have, and the breakout is at a level of 19th December 23. So it's a 6-7 month breakout. This is for you, Rajesh ji. City Union Bank, is it overheated at 165.40 or is there still space? The volume has actually shot through very strongly. Your view on City Union Bank?
So in my sense, there is still room for for the more upside in City Union Bank. The way stock has formed a bottom after consolidation of almost 10 to 12 months, and now the breakout is taking place. So now stock has shown strength on the short term, long term charts also. So we believe that till stock is holding above 160 to 160 level, I think one should remain on the long side of trade. This possible breakout really can extend, and 175 to 180 could be the next target for the stock. So I think one can hold the position with trailing stop loss of 162 or 160 level.
Okay.
Okay. And I will only mark the price of fact, which is fertilizers and chemicals, Sakshi. 6% uptick. Needless to say, this is a record high. The breakout has just happened yesterday. Maybe you can take a note of it as well.
Percent higher move at 953 odd levels. Rajesh ji, what is the next target price for this one that you'd like to highlight?
So as I mentioned, we believe that 980 to 1000 could be the next target, and the way stock is showing buying interest and the fresh breakout is taking place on the monthly, weekly chart. I think that this is the one of the strongest stocks in this fertilizer pack at this moment. The stock is almost trading at all-time high trajectory. So I think trailing of stop loss now towards 925, upside target, possible target towards 1000 we can see in fact.
Okay, got that. Let me get Mitesh ji into the conversation. Mitesh ji, I remember I think yesterday we were also discussing some up move that you can expect in the pharma space going forward from here. The index is a little lower in trade today. In fact, it's the lowest performing index. But are these giving good opportunities for investors to take an entry? And where exactly would you keep your focus, sir?
Yeah, thanks Rakshi for remembering this. Probably in a day or two, definitely Pharma will come back and perform. And two, technically very strong pick at the current level is Lupin and Sun Pharma. If you look at the structure of both these stock, they are looking promising at the current level, and they are about to witness a very strong breakout. So sooner than later, we will see it. As far as Lupin is concerned, probably above 1570, 1570, a fresh breakout will take place into the stock, and it will take the stock to the navel level. As far as Sun Pharma is concerned, since last 2 to 3 trading sessions, we are witnessing a bit of a break on the upside, but above 1490 on 15 minute charts, again the stock will witness a very strong up move. So yeah, today's weakness and probably needs to be bought into. We are of the view that sooner than later, the stocks will be in the limelight.
Okay. We'll continue to keep an eye out on the pharma space as well. Rajesh ji, we've been discussing fact with you. Other chemical stocks that are also buzzing in trade. So Himadri Specialty Chemicals is moving up. We have SRF. Then we also have Tata Chemicals that's also buzzing. Anything specifically in the chemical space also that you would like to highlight?
So I mentioned about Deepak Nitrate. That stock is
Yeah.
also doing good, and stock is now almost trading at all. It's a day high level. So I think that stock can be also one can keep on their buying list. Another stock is from Tirumalai Chemical is also looking promising. The way stock managed to do breakout in last week, we believe that here we can see a follow up buying action, and possibly stock may exhibit good amount of rally towards 345 to 350 kind of zone. So here one can look to buy with stop loss of 308 at this moment. As you pointed out for other mid cap chemical space, that NOSIL is also looking promising. Now stock is giving a breakout of it's almost 8 to 10 week consolidation range. The way stock managed to give breakout on a weekly chart, we believe that this rally can extend towards 297 would be the first target, and if it surpasses those levels, then possible rally can extend to 315 to 320 also. So NOSIL also one can keep on their buying list. Your stop loss should be placed at around 276.
$9.50, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up. And Sakshi, old world favorites are coming back. I can't remember the last time we discussed SRF. Look at how it's moving. 2464, 2% higher. This is at an open interest uptick of about 2%. In the morning, Naveen Fluorine was also highlighted by, I think, Mitesh ji, 4% higher. It's the entire chemical space that's come back very, very strongly. Tata Chemicals is 3.5% higher, accompanied by a drop in open interest. I think this is something to be watched for. To you, Mitesh ji, what is Tata Chemicals stock price telling you? I see fairly decent volumes coming in at about 1145.
You're absolutely right. Above 1120, the stock has witnessed a strong breakout and now has a leg room to move up above 1180, 1200 rupees. So definitely it's available at a good risk reward ratio. And this is a pattern that when Shailji, Tata Chemical is up by 3 or 4%, the follow on buying will come up and eventually the stock will hit an absolute great levels on the daily chart. So at a 3.5% at 951, not surprised. But see to it that follow through will come up tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and stock will eventually hit 1180, 1200 rupees. So with a stop of 1105, I will go long at 1145 for the potential target of 1180 and 1220 for tomorrow or the day after.
Okay, what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen, we'll show you the option pricing of Tata Chemicals 1140 call. It's actually doubled from 12 rupees to 24 rupees in a span of about 30-35 minutes. I'm just requesting the PCR to fire the 1140 Tata Chemicals call, which will set to expire on June 27th. Keep this in front of you. The charts of Tata Chemicals are very strong, and ideally maybe you should look at 1160 or 1150 even. All of them have jumped very sharply, but the swing trade is in the works as far as Tata Chemicals is concerned, and you need to keep an eye out on 1150, 1160 Tata Chemicals call. Let it just sort of calm down a bit. It's already moved up from say 9 rupees to 23 rupees, so let it calm down, but this is a very, very good move on Tata Chemicals and a very strong show that is coming in. Absolutely no stopping fact, 969. Remember, this is also a very, very low floating stock as far as the share is concerned, so it is prone to very strong volatility. Please keep that in mind when you look at fact and SRF. This is for you, Rajesh ji. We've discussed this so many times that it's bringing back old memories. Your view on SRF?
So this is third consecutive week where stock is making higher high-low formation. That clearly shows that sustained buying is taking place. As you mentioned that now again there is a buying interest in most of the chemical space. I think yes, SRF is old favorite stock from this space, and the way stock is moving on a weekly chart, yes, we do believe that this really can extend further. 2500 to 2530 could be the next target for the stock in the continuation of this up move. So those who have already bought the stock can hold the position. Even the fresh buying can be done with stop loss of 2420. The Shelji, another stock from the same space that is now giving a breakout, that is PI industry. I think you can look at that daily chart as well as on the weekly chart also. This is the 4 to 5 week consolidation range breakout is taking place on a daily chart. Stock is now sustaining about 20-day, 50-day moving average. I think here also we can see some follow buying action. PI industry can move further higher to 30 to 38.50 kind of zone. So one can buy PI industry also with stop loss of 3700.
Okay, we'll continue to look at PI Industries as well. There is one Tata stock that I wanted to discuss which is lower in trade today, and that is Tata Technologies, 1.6% lower in trade. Remember, it's the Goldman Sachs report that came in with a sell rating on this that is triggering some weaker moves. But the point is that there are nearly 70-75% of the analysts which track Tata Technologies, and most of them have a sell rating on Tata Tech as of now. The stock has declined in 6 out of the last 7 months in which it has been trading as a public listed company. Now, Goldman Sachs, which has joined the list, is giving a price target of 900 rupees on Tata Tech. Let me take a view from both Mitesh and Rajesh ji on Tata Tech as to what should be the strategy on this one. The stock listed amidst a lot of fanfare in hopes that this is going to be the next big TCS from the group as well, but it has definitely not performed as much on the stock markets from the time it got listed thus far. Are these stocks going to be seeing reversal anytime soon, or is there going to be a long wait? Midesh ji, first to you.
Yeah, you rightly pointed out. I think since it's listing at 1400 odd levels, the stock is forming lower top, lower bottom formation on any chart pattern, be it a weekly or a monthly or a quarterly. So I will not touch the stocks, but would like to maintain a stop loss if I have a long position. 982.25 was the uh, lifetime low, which is formed on 7th of June 2024. So do not want to touch the stock right now. If it breaks 982, if I already have a position, I will hold it with a stop of 982.25 because the what the Goldman Sachs has said that is visible on the chart. I think 950, 930 is visible in the current weakness. So I'll not catch this falling knife right now. We'll wait for the stock to see to it whether it defend 982. I don't think so. It will, and eventually it gets down as per our system and method at 950.
Okay, Rajesh ji, your view?
I think the way stock is showing on a daily as well as on the weekly chart, we believe that till stock not crosses about 1060, 1100 kind of zone, trend is likely to remain on the weaker side, and possibly if stocks breaks below 990 kind of zone, then furthermore downtick we can see in the stock in near term future. So at this moment, I think one can wait for furthermore decline towards 950, 930 kind of zone. That's the level I think stock may continue furthermore this decline. Uh, on the reversal side, 1060 one needs to keep eye. If it crosses those level, then only we will initiate the buy because that's the major congestion zone or supply zone at this moment on the near term, short term structure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 9:58. We'll just wrap the show. Both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank are now in red. Minor downticks happening. Remember, the Nifty has its weekly expiry today, so sideways trend is expected. The Nifty Bank, of course, surged 1,000 points yesterday, so it's digesting that rally. The most important chart that I'd like to show you is of India VIX. Again, as I had mentioned in my opening commentary, this is a sure sign of sideways consolidating market. India VIX is up 1.2%, and it possibly points to a medium term correction for 2 or 3 days on the main indices. Whether that happens or not, only time will tell, but this is what the charts are. Apart from the main indices, there is all around hectic activity on the buying side as far as cash markets are concerned. It's easily visible in the advanced decline ratio, 2:1, favoring bulls. 1471 stocks are in the green compared with 730 which are in the red. The indices that are leading the charge are the realty index 1.5% higher, metals index that is about 1% higher, and the mid cap and the small cap indices which are about 0.5% higher. There's absolutely no stopping fertilizers. There is a very strong move coming into chemical space, and of course stocks from the PSU basket are also doing pretty well. Sakshi, what are you watching?
We'll wrap it up now, Shail. It's almost 10 o'clock, and we'll thank both our guests for being with us, Rajesh ji and Mitesh ji, for being with us on this very special edition, sharing all the ideas across various sectors, cutting across various stocks as well. The markets are trending, absolutely flat with a negative bias right now, and 23,500 can still be seen. Let's see how the day really pans out in trade, but it's the realty, metals, oil and gas, mid caps that are still hovering with gains, with of course banks like Kotak Mahindra Bank leading the show. Hindalco, BPCL, Ultratech Cement, JSW Steel, Tata Steel and Reliance Industries as among the top movers on the Nifty. On the downside, we will share with all our viewers HDFC Life, Sun Pharma, Bajaj Finance, Power Grid, Bajaj Finserv and HCL Technologies are some of the weaker stocks right now. Even the PSE index is now down 0.25%. Autos, IT, financial services, pharma and FMCG. These are the spaces that are looking weak right now. Realty, metals, oil and gas definitely leading the show as of now. We'll wind up at that, but thank you very much viewers for being with us on this edition. Thanks from both Shail and me, but do stay continued glued on to Business Today Television. A whole lot of action-packed day ahead of from here on as well. IPO space stocks which will be discussed. Also, daily calls will be coming up at 12 noon which will address all your stock related queries. So stay tuned.